we have the Classic Sports and Saloons, always provides us with great racing, and as you can see, a great selection of some really rare classic cars, but these guys don't hang around, they race wheel to wheel with these machines. And on pole position is Tommy Gilmartin. Now last time out it was all about Tommy and Harry, and it is now as well. 0.4 of a second between Tommy on pole position and our race winner twice at the first round, the 39 machine of Harry Simpson, who's going to line up second alongside Tommy on the front row of the grid for their first race of the day under some slippery conditions. I'll hand it to Richard for all of the action.
Thanks, Joe. Always a highlight of these meetings, the classics and wonderful machinery headed by Tommy Gilmartin with Harry Simpson alongside. Raymond Boyd and Alex Montgomery on row 2, then it's Jimmy Crowe and Bruce Mitchell. Ian Daltrey followed by John Bennett, so it's Alphas on row 4, Andrew Graham followed by Grant Allen and Max Horn in the Lotus Cortina, completing a wonderfully eclectic grid, but it's difficult conditions, and let's see who gets away first. Relatively long wait, and it looks like a cracking start by Raymond Boyd, who is challenging for the lead. We're in car with John Bennett in the number 85 Alfa Romeo Sprint GT, chasing the Lotus Europa of Bruce Mitchell down the hill. Well, you wanted eclectic, you've got it. I think the only duplication we've got is a brace of Porsche 911s with Raymond Boyd, who's currently in second place, and also Grant Allen, both series regulars. And Raymond Boyd's going to have a look at the inside line here. This is tough in the wet for a Porsche, tough for all of these big powered cars for sure. But the race leader is Tommy Gilmartin. Raymond Boyd still offline. Harry Simpson uses the opportunity to have a look at the inside line to try and challenge for second position. Now all of these three cars running in different classes, so although they're squabbling and enjoying their battle for lead position, they're all leading their respective classes. Look at the back end wanting to come round on the Porsche. Fantastic stuff. And Harry Simpson goes round the outside in the little Ginetta G4. So Simpson, who's a major character if you've ever seen any of the interviews, is up into second. Raymond Boyd down into third place. Raymond Boyd and Jimmy Crowe are the championship leaders jointly on 50 points, having had 2 class wins apiece at the first race of the year. Raymond Boyd taking 2 second places overall, so currently he's down in third position in this one, but significantly again leading his class. A couple of drivers missing this weekend. We had James Braid racing in Class B last time, plus the defending champion Stan Bernard. Stan doesn't I don't think always do, due to travelling and other commitments, doesn't always manage a whole season, but you don't necessarily need to do a whole season to win a championship, as Stan proved last year. There's Jimmy Crowe, joint championship leader, and then Alex Montgomery in the MGB GT V8, who is third in the championship, currently leading Class E. And you saw the Alphas there, John Bennett up ahead of Ian Daltrey. And we're in car again with John, who has also had 2 class wins and picked up 20 points for each of those, and is joint 4th in the championship with the absent Stan Bernard. So that covers the top 5 drivers in the championship. And as you can see, chasing the Lotus at the moment through the chicane, and good to see Bruce Mitchell out, missed the first round, the 1800cc car, looking for some second place class points. But we've got a good battle on for the lead here. Tommy Gilmartin up ahead of Harry Simpson in the Ginetta, and Harry all over the back of him, and now darts to the inside line. So Harry Simpson is going to have a look and see if he can get the overall lead. Second place at the moment for him. Simpson double winner at round number 1. Tommy Gilmartin, you might remember, retired from the first race and had a super drive through the field in race number 2 back in April, but they're through Scotsman Corner, and the other thing you can see about this is it's all keen racing, but you tend not to see any rash moves, and it's good clean racing, and I think very much all the better for that, given the rare nature of the machinery on show. Raymond Boyd still in touch as well. Boyd, of course, champion back in 2014. Prior to that, having won the Class D in 2013 and also 2012. So multiple champion, knows what he's doing, enjoys racing the Porsche 911. Had a go in the Datsun very briefly, a Datsun last year at the start of last season, but very quickly went back into the Porsche. Here is Jimmy Crowe in the Escort. Alex Montgomery is going through next in the MG, and then we go back to Bruce Mitchell in the Lotus Europa. You might remember Ollie Ross racing one of those in years gone by in this championship, and then behind him the yellow Alpha of John Bennett. Ian Daltrey is still running as well. So Raymond Boyd here, look at the three-way scrap for the lead. Very, very difficult conditions here for these three very valuable race cars to be jostling in close proximity is a wonderful sight. And look at Harry Simpson here, wide line into the hairpin. Now this could be about a run up the hill on the inside. They're beginning to close on Max Horn in the Cortina Lotus. And if you're wondering why I say the words that way round, if you check the record books, you see that's the way Ford originally wanted it done. But most of us these days tend to refer to them as Lotus Cortina. And Max Horn, wonderful driving from Max, realises the race leaders are coming through and moves aside. And it's still Tommy Gilmartin in the Morgan +8 who is there. So Raymond Boyd trying to put, and again he just can't get close enough at the moment to Harry Simpson in the Ginetta, and Harry in turn just can't quite find that little chink in the armour of the race leader to be able to go through, but it's like a little terrier, isn't it, that car? And trying to work out if he can go. He's going for the wide sweep again. You can see Gilmartin half defensive, covering the slightly tighter line going into the hairpin, wide line out, up the hill they go again. So this race could go any way of three. Max Horn still running in the Cortina Lotus, and he's in Class B with Jimmy Crowe, so we'll pick up second place points here, assuming he finishes. At the moment no retirees, but we've still got the lead trio all fighting over the lead. Tommy Gilmartin in Class E leading the Class G machine of Harry Simpson, and then the Class D car of Raymond Boyd in third position. And this time Simpson has an early look down the inside line, nothing doing, switches back to the outside line because Gilmartin had it initially covered. And the Morgan still leads Ginetta, Porsche in third place. And Simpson having a look up the inside line here. Has he got his nose alongside the race leader? No, he hasn't, and it is still Gilmartin that leads here in round 3 of the Scottish Classic Sports and Saloon Car Championship. Ian Daltrey moves across, allows the race leaders through. Daltrey running in Class A, the lone runner in Class A. That championship having been won by, or that class having been won by Howard Gordon last year, Steve Uphill in 2014, George Leach in 2013, and Nick Boys in 2012. And you have to go back to 2011 when we last saw an Alpha winning that championship, which was with Roger Motherwell. Battle still on for the lead. So we've now got the Lotus Europa, who sticks to the outside line, and good driving, but up to the checkered flag. Who's going to take it? It is Tommy Gilmartin that takes the win here of round 3 of the championship, a first outright win of the year for Tommy Gilmartin. Second position, third class win of the year to Harry Simpson in the Ginetta. Jimmy Crowe takes third place from Alex Montgomery and Andrew Graham, and then John Bennett, Bruce Mitchell in 7th from Ian Daltrey, Raymond Boyd and Grant Allen in 10th place.
Harry and your friend Tommy. Tommy, you can join in on this. Our 1-2 in the race. Tommy, some clever tactics from my view there. Harry, some pace, but you held him off.
I did. I knew it was going to be a tough race out there because Harry's car handles beautiful. By luck this morning, I got a very good qualifying time, so that helped me. But Harry kept me honest the whole time. My visor fogged up near the end, and it was difficult enough knowing where Harry was at the best of times, but when the visor fogged up, it was even worse. But no, it was good.
We're going to get a dry race this afternoon?
Fingers crossed, yes, because Harry's wanting to try his new tyres so they're a second quicker. So,
have you ever seen someone so upset? Harry, second place, it's a good result, but it's not what you want.
Second place, Joey.
I'm not interested in second either.
and really, I may as well be in last. You know, I mean, Tommy defended all the time. I'm going to have a word with him later on, you know, because I'm going to put him on my knee. Oh no, I'm going to put him over my knee and give him a good scalping. I mean, Tommy's car's still a wee bit quicker than mine.
The difference between me and Harry, we've now got the same tyres, but I think I've got bigger spectacles than Harry.
Well, you might have, but I haven't went blind yet.
Right. We're going to leave it at this before it turns into fisticuffs. Well done, Tommy. Don't fall off the podium. Well done, Harry. You've got another chance this afternoon to turn it into a win, and you've got another chance, Tommy, to try to stop him.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Jimmy, great third place. Tommy and Harry stole the show and the entertainment there. You were kind of stroking it home in third position.
Yeah, I had a race with Alex in his 4 litre MGB. He got me off the line. Then coming out the hairpin, he doesn't pull so well at the hairpin, and he missed a gear, and that gave me my opportunity, and I never looked back after that.
Surely not the easiest car to handle in these wet, well, it's not really wet, it's more greasy conditions now, isn't it?
Well, I bought some new tyres because Alex had the better in the last meeting, so new tyres on, and the car really went well and handled well in the wet.
Good. Let's see you joining these guys at the front next time.
Right. I'll try. I need more power.
Scottish Classic Sports and Saloons, race number 2 under some completely dry conditions, which is what everybody wanted. In race number 1, Tommy Gilmartin, Harry Simpson had as big a fallout as these guys have ever had, and they're going to take it back out on track now and sort it out once and for all. I'll hand it to Richard and he'll take us through the action.
Don't you just love it? I really love the interviews with those guys. There's Tommy Gilmartin, he starts on pole. Harry Simpson is alongside, and then Jimmy Crowe and Alex Montgomery, they resume battle as well on row 2. Andrew Graham and John Bennett next, then it's Bruce Mitchell and Ian Daltrey, Raymond Boyd and Grant Allen, followed by Max Horn. You probably noticed Raymond Boyd dropped back, didn't he, in race number 1 after challenging early on for that, well, the lead in actual fact, because it was 3 of them circulating in close proximity. But the lights are on for our second classic race, and again Alex Montgomery makes a fine start. You don't need to be in car with Jimmy Crowe to see that. So Crowe from 3rd on the grid down to 4th. It's Morgan, Janetta, MG, and then the Ford Escort Mark 1 going down Duffus Dip for the first time. Into Scotsman corner, lock up there from the Morgan. He's trying hard and goes wide, and the Janetta goes through. Harry Simpson goes through. Simpson looking for his 3rd outright win of the year. The Morgan's back on track, and this is going to be deja vu here for Tommy Gilmartin, who started off the back in race 2 at meeting number 1. There is the Triumph TR8 of Andrew Graham. So we said there was a great mix of cars. And tell you what, Tommy Gilmartin here, he's probably going to joke that he was giving Harry Simpson a chance, but he's already passed Jimmy Crowe. Raymond Boyd has started fantastically fast too. So Boyd goes through and past the MG BGT V8. The Morgan's going to try and go through as well. Jimmy Crowe there. Well, we didn't really want to see Harry Simpson going away. We wanted to see a 3-way scrap for the lead, and we may still see that. Through goes John Bennett. Grant Allen dicing hard there with Ian Daltrey, and then Max Horn in the Cortina Lotus at the back of the field. So Raymond Boyd at the moment, I was going to say heading through the traffic, heading Tommy Gilmartin through the traffic, and Gilmartin with the MG BGT right behind him. So the Ford Escort is next up. The Escort course launched in 1968, and the MG BGT, the MGB originally 1965, but the V8 from 1973 to 1976. So only a couple of years between the two cars as Raymond Boyd and Tommy Gilmartin go side by side, and Gilmartin is through and climbs up the hill. Tommy Gilmartin up into second position, but Harry Simpson away down the road. Simpson did get that fastest lap in race number 1. So Tommy Gilmartin, 3.9 litre Morgan plus 8, and then the 3 litre Porsche of Raymond Boyd. Popular car to have in this championship. As we mentioned, you've got Grant Allen racing one as well. It's the only car where we've got 2 of the same car. Normally we have 3 with Stan Bernard racing. Ginetta goes out of shot. He's got half the length or more of the back straight here over Tommy Gilmartin. So we just now need to see whether Tommy Gilmartin can close in after what looked like a little bit of a lock-up going down into Scotsman the first time. Raymond Boyd there in third, so we've almost got a repeat of the battle for second and third from last time. Jimmy Crowe chasing Alex Montgomery, so MG, Ford, Triumph TR8 is next, in car with Jimmy Crowe once again. So the 2 litre Ford Escort Mark 1, the car originally launched in the late 1960s, and a popular car, probably more synonymous with rally driving, and lots of very fine examples pedalled up and down the country that you'll see. Some championships you'll see them racing with contemporary cars, more modern machinery, and it's interesting to compare the size of what was a reasonably sized family saloon back in the day against what you would have now as a family saloon, and the Escorts and Ford Anglias and the like of the day look so small compared with current cars when you see them on track together. Back we go though with Jimmy Crowe chasing the MG. So Alex Montgomery, third in the championship coming into the meeting, the Class E leader. Have to say probably by virtue of that non-finish in round number 1 for Tommy Gilmartin. And a non-finish is difficult to claw back in this championship. We didn't have any retirees in race number 1, and there are no drop scores in this championship, so it really is all about getting the car home to the finish in as many races as you can. Jimmy Crowe still piling the pressure on. Crowe joint championship leader with Raymond Boyd after race number 1, and if you're wondering how those points pan out, where I was talking about 2 overall wins for Harry Simpson, Harry was the only entry in Class G, and if there's only one entry, if there are 2 or less, only 2 entries in the class, then the points are significantly less, as we get a bit of a back end out there from Jimmy Crowe. So it's 3 starters or more for full championship points, which is 25 points, and obviously you have to reward the drivers that are racing against bigger numbers of cars. That's the way the championship works for the multi-class structure. Similar in the Scottish Saloon and Sports Car Championship as well. Alex Montgomery though doing a very good job here of holding on to 4th position. Still Harry Simpson leading from Tommy Gilmartin and Raymond Boyd. So the MG holding sway in 4th place. There's the Porsche up the road at the moment completing the podium, and Jimmy Crowe just a little bit behind. Then we've got the Triumph TR8, Andrew Graham at the wheel of the TR8, which again a late 70s early 1980s model, the TR8, again more synonymous like the Mark 1 Escort with rallying. But wonderful to see the car out here. It was with the Scottish Classic Championship at Croft a few years ago, and there were some young people who were watching the racing absolutely fascinated to see a Triumph TR8. They'd never seen one in the flesh, as it were, and absolutely fascinated to see the cars, and I think we had 2 or 3 of the TR8 squadron out that day, and they thoroughly enjoyed it and thought it was a wonderful opportunity to see these cars. Jimmy Crowe still giving chase, so Crowe leading Class B. John Bennett is still there in Class B as well. Bruce Mitchell and Max Horn running in Class B as well. So some good points to be had here, and that might mean that Jimmy Crowe could take the overall championship lead. Grant Allen goes through in the red Porsche, and we pick up on Ian Daltrey, very briefly in the stripy Alpha, who's now been passed by the race leader again. Harry Simpson goes through, off on the grass, maybe into pit lane goes the Lotus. That's one very safe way of keeping out of the way of the race leaders. I don't think Bruce Mitchell's going into retirement, so he's still looking at third place in Class B. Harry Simpson, though, well on his way to a third overall win, and he will take the honours once again. The little Ginetta G4, the car that was originally launched back in 1961 using the Ford 105E, the Ford Anglia engine when it started, and Harry Simpson here has got this car running well. Ginetta still a very, very successful company in British sports car racing under the ownership of Lawrence Tomlinson, who races the G57 prototype now with some great drivers. But he'll be pleased to know that the G4, part of his heritage, is still racing and still winning, and taking the checkered flag is Harry Simpson. Second place is going to go to Tommy Gilmartin. That's Max Horn across the line. Max in 11th place. Then we've got John Bennett in the Alpha. Here's the second place man on the road. Tommy Gilmartin is going to take another win in Class E. Comes up the hill, takes the checkered flag. Raymond Boyd is going to be third. Here's Raymond in the Porsche, just ahead of the Alpha of Ian Daltrey. Fastest lap in that one again going to this man in the Ginetta, Harry Simpson. 2 fastest laps, a class win, an outright win. Tommy Gilmartin second from Raymond Boyd, then Alex Montgomery and Andrew Graham. Jimmy Crowe 6 from John Bennett, then Ian Daltrey, Grant Allen, Bruce Mitchell in 10th, and Max Horn again completing the finishers in the Cortina.
Harry Simpson, this morning you were all annoyed with Tommy there, but Tommy did it to himself. McIntyre's first lap ran wide through the gravel, and it was a Harry Simpson story from there on.
It was just cold tyres, and I know that Tommy was probably a wee bit wound up. We were all a wee bit wound up after the first race meeting. I was a wee bit annoyed with Tommy, but who can be annoyed with this wee man for long?
Just so cute.
You know, he is. He's like, you know what? I'm taking him home with me. My daughter says to me, Dad, when you come back, can I get a wee doll in the pram? I says, Christ, I've got one here for you.
Tommy, from your point of view, once you ran wide, Harry was away. You give him half an inch, he'll take a mile.
Exactly, that's right. You know, as you said, I ran wide, tyres were cold at the beginning. I tried like a bear for 3 laps to get back on him, and I could see Harry was getting further away, and it's soul destroying, so I just settled for second place. So yeah, but
Tommy,
thoroughly
give me
enjoyed
a
it.
kiss. There you
So
are.
nice to see you guys pals again. Well done.
We're all pals.
Well,
We're all
that's right.
pals.
You know, I have to let him get first now and again, because if I don't, he'll stop speaking to me.
I'll just fight with him. And
I know Harry quite well, I've seen it before.
Joey, he'll not get a line in the spoon.
This is it. Joined by third place man Raymond and your pals. These guys are after the extra exposure on TV. From your point of view, what can you do with these two? You kind of live with them.
Well, I don't know about not living with them. In the dry, maybe not. But when you come for 9th and finish 3rd, you're doing no bad. So that wasn't bad. So,
That shut me up, eh?
a wee bit. But no, it was good. It was good. Car was going okay. Nice dry weather. These boys are always quick to try and catch, but it's not happening today. So I'm really happy with my weekend. It was really good.
Well done, lads.
Well done, lads. Cheers.
Thank you. Joey. He's playing with the big boys now.
Well, that brings today's action to a close, but what close racing we've seen all day long, changeable weather conditions thrown in as well. Make sure you tune in next time for more action.